Manchester United 4, Newcastle United 1. Obviously, this is a super late match reaction because that match happened this Saturday and it's Monday here already. But yeah, I had to do it, obviously, because I have to do it. There's not going to be any player ratings or anything like that because I could go on a rant and go on a tangent and like complain about the fact that I couldn't watch the game, like as if I was in England or anything, which I am not. But I can go on and rant and complain about that, but I'm not going to. Apparently, decided I watched it on, decided that I wasn't going to watch the game on Saturday. So, we're going to leave it at that. 4-1, Cristiano Ronaldo with 2 goals, opening the scoring, and then finding the second goal after the equalizer from Javi Manquillo for Newcastle United. But a strong response, Bruno Fernandes with a world beater of a goal, and then Jason Lingard off the bench, making it 4-1. Pogba getting 2 assists, so he's got 7 assists in 4 games. Yes, I said that right. Not 4 and 7, 7 in 4. That's a ridiculous return already. 3 more, and he's already at double figures. So that's a ridiculous return for him. And just think, he doesn't even want to be at a club, and he got 7 assists in 4 games. So imagine if he wanted to be at a club. Anyway, I said I wasn't going on a tangent, but I just did that. But yeah, I did a reaction. Of course, you already check out that video. That video, by the way, the support I got for that video has been incredible. Thank you guys so much. That was actually one of my, I think that is my best views video in terms of a short period of time. Of course, I have one other video that still beats it, but in terms of the short span of time that I put it out, and till now, and the reaction and the views I've gotten for that video, that was one of my better videos. So thanks for that, definitely. And yeah, don't forget to continue to show your boy support, like, share, and subscribe to this video, of course. And we're just happy, of course, because Cristiano Ronaldo comes back, he gets 2 goals. The question was never, I was saying to someone on Saturday, the question was never if Ronaldo was going to score in his return. The question was how many and when he was going to score. So at the end of the day, not too surprising. Like he said, he expected to get 1, not 2. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's just how it is when you're Ronaldo. You're gonna get more than you expect sometimes, and at the end you have to deal with it. Because you're Cristiano Ronaldo and you're one of the best players in the world. That's how it works. So we got the win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But not a good performance. Not a good performance, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it was, because yes, it was better than the Wolverhampton Wanderers performance, but at the same time, we had Cristiano Ronaldo in that game. We didn't have Dan James that we had the last time. We had Cristiano Ronaldo on the field. We had Sancho starting as well. So of course, we should have had a better game. There's no question about that. When you swap in James for Ronaldo, you should have a better game, no question. So no surprises for that. 3 points, we're top of the league after Chelsea and Liverpool, of course, got the wins, 3-0 victories, but they are behind us in terms of goals scored, so we're still top of the league. Something to be happy about. Spurs, of course, haven't lost earlier in the day to Crystal Palace in that 3-0 hammering they suffered, making my predictions look super accurate, by the way. Thanks for that, Tottenham. Yeah, not salty about that at all. Of course, after the Everton game on Monday, I will be doing my reaction to my predictions for week 4, which I think I somehow did worse than I did on. I thought I did better with 3 predictions. I think I did worse this time, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna check and make sure. I'm probably gonna have to check watch my video again to see what I did predict. But hopefully we can continue to go top of the league as well. Like I said, Everton will have to win 4-0 on Monday against Burnley to take top spot from us. I don't see that happening, so it looks like we will be top of the league at the end of week 4, which of course, it's easy to say, well, that doesn't really matter, because it really doesn't matter at all. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's top after 37 games. All that matters is who's top after 38 games. That's all that's ever gonna matter. That's all that's ever mattered. 4 games for sure doesn't matter, but it's a good platform. We expected to win our first 8 games. That wasn't being arrogant or anything like that. We looked at the fixtures, and we looked at our players, and we looked at what we have to offer. and we saw that we should be winning the first 8 games, and we've gone through 4 games right now, and we've won 3 of them, and we haven't lost any one of them. Yeah, David De Gea has played a huge part in that happening and making critical saves, but David De Gea is part of the team, so if he's making saves, he's doing his job. That is his job, is to make saves as a goalkeeper. So at the end of the day, we did get the win. Should never consider that goal. That was just poor from our captain, our leader, Maguire, who I think is one of those players that you just don't want to play with, in terms of the fact that he always seems to want to stop danger, even when he could just jockey and let somebody else try to stop it. Like if he jockeys that ball for that goal they score, if he jockeys, Shaw can recover and try to get, because that was his man who spun him. So Shaw can recover and try to get back at his man, but then he's stepped out and he's completely killed the shape of the rest of the team at that position when Shaw gets done. So that's just the kind of player he is, that he just seems to put his teammates under pressure with some shoddy decision making. I'm not going to go in on any players. I'm not going to go in on the manager. I just thought it was an average performance. Of course, I didn't watch the game in terms of really watch the game, but I did follow some watch alongs, and I did follow the description on a website I usually use too. So I had a decent understanding of what did happen. Matic and Popper was an effective midfield compared to Fred and Matic, for example, which did not work last time, and Fred and Popper midfield, which also didn't work. Yes, of course, the common denominator there being Fred, but no need to go in on any players. Like I said, we won the game, and it's not being. I just want to respond to people saying, "Oh, you're being negative if you criticize a team because we won the game 4-1 and we're top of the league, and Ronaldo scored 2 goals, and we had Jesse Lingard come off the bench and score, and Bob Pogba's got 7 assists in 4 games. So if you're moaning, you are being a toxic fan and you're being negative. Well, my response to that is you're not interested in succeeding this season. If you honestly believe that, and you're not just saying that just to please the majority of our fans who are, for a lack of a better term, delusional in their attitude towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and their attitude towards the performances that our team produced. They are delusional about it. If you honestly believe, and you're not just pandering to the majority of fans, then you're the problem. You're honestly the problem. Because it's not acceptable to sit there and say, oh, well, we've won the game 4-1 and ignore the fact that we considered that goal like we considered today, and ignore the fact that if we played like we played against, I said today, we played like we played against Newcastle, 9 times out of 10, we probably wouldn't get the result, even with the fact that we have Ronaldo, even with the fact that we have Bruno Fernandes, even with the fact that we have Paul Pogba, even with the fact that we have Mason Greenwood, even with the fact that we have Martial, and we have Sancho, and we have, of course, Rashford still to come, and Donny van de Beek can't get a game, and we have Luke Shaw and David De Gea in goal, and Rafael Varane center back. Even with all of that going in our favor, we still would win the game. Probably 9 out of 10 is maybe an unfair percentage, but we wouldn't win the game more than 7 times, really. Out of the 10 times, we wouldn't win the game. I think there'll be times where, and of course, any kind of game can turn on you anytime. No matter how well you perform, you can lose any game, and you can win any game, no matter how well or poorly you perform. That's just the nature of the game, nature of the business. But at the end of the day, you have to provide a platform as a team in terms of your performance, in terms of your attitude, in terms of your drive. You have to provide that performance. And people complain about, oh, they parked the bus, or they were time wasting. Well, guess what? The Newcastle. And teams like Newcastle and teams like Burnley and teams like they go over to Manchester City and they do what they did at Old Trafford on Saturday. They do it, and they get panned anyway. They get smashed, and they did what they did today, and we didn't even play at anywhere near our top level, and we still beat them 4-1. So imagine what would happen if we could play our top level consistently and we could perform like a team that has as many superstars as we do and play with the right mindset. Imagine what would happen, and that's the frustration. That's where it comes from. So if you're sitting there going, oh, you're being negative because you're being critical, then you don't want to succeed this season, because succeeding this season is not winning, winning games for the winning of it against teams that we should be beating anyway. succeeding is making sure that we have the right platforms and for in terms of performance and in terms of attitude, in terms of what we want to do as a team, in terms of what we're doing as individuals. Having that mindset is what the fans need to have, because that's what's gonna, be vibed off by the fans. That's gonna be vibed onto the players, vibed onto the manager, vibed onto the coaching staff, vibed onto the, the regular day staff, vibed onto the owners, vibed onto the board. That's what we need to do, is give that vibe as fans that we want to compete, we want to be successful, we want to, we want to get back to where we were, and maybe even eclipse where we were before. At the end of the day, because that should be the goal. You should always want to be better than you were yesterday. No matter how good you were yesterday, you should always want to be better than you were yesterday. That always has to be the goal. So that's just it. That's the way I feel about it, honestly. And I'm gonna be out because I spent all this time. And like I said, I'm not gonna talk about the manager. I'm not gonna talk about the players. I'm just gonna say that it's not sustainable to consistently not put in grade A performances and get the win. It's not, and we saw it at St. Mary's. If we had Ronaldo, we probably would have won. I would say we definitely would have won that game if we had Cavani. Let alone if we had Ronaldo in that game against Southampton, because we had a couple of moments where we just weren't decisive enough, and Paul Pogba really unlucky enough to score a goal in that game. Which, if he would have scored that goal, that would have been game. And of course, David De Gea did have to make an incredible save of Armstrong. But apart from that, like I said, he's part of the team. So if he's doing that, he's doing his job. I think if we had Ronaldo or Cavani in that game against Southampton, we would have won the game, and we'd be talking about being 2 points clear of the rest of the teams by now. And that's just how it is. We did win against Wolves, even playing worse than we did at St. Mary's. We won against Wolves before the international break. So it's my honest opinion about it is it's a great result. Of course, it's a great feeling to 11 goals scored, 3 conceded. To be top of the league, it's a great feeling, but at the end of the day, it's not sustainable against even average teams, let alone the big teams, to consistently not perform up to the levels that you definitely can't hit as a team, that everybody knows that you can't hit as a team. To not perform to that level and then still expect to win games, it's not realistic and it's not sustainable. So if you want to compete and you want to win the big trophies, you have to focus on that. You can't sit there and be twiddling your thumbs and be celebrating about the fact that we've got 3 wins out of 4 easy, winnable games to start the season, because they were 4 winnable games. The next 4 games are going to be tougher. A trip to West Ham, a home game against Villa. I believe a trip to Leicester City as well, and then a home game against Everton. The next 4 games are going to be tougher, and then after that, the next 4 games are going to be tougher than that. I think we've got City coming up in that time, and we've got Chelsea coming up, and we've got Liverpool coming up soon after that. And we've got Tottenham as well coming up around that time. So it only gets harder from year on in. And so celebrating to have 10 points from the first 12 possible is, I think is redundant, honestly, because we've seen our team perform average, mediocre, had good start to the season, and they've done nothing in any of those. So I think we have to be more alert as fans, and we have to, of course, be excited, because it's an exciting time with the players that we've got, the talent that we've got, and Ronaldo is back. Of course, we should be excited about it. We should definitely be buzzing, no question about that. But at the end of the day, you have to temper that with realism, and being realistic always really gets because when you're being realistic in life, you're mostly against the rest of the majority of people, and so that always gets mistaken for, oh, he's a negative or he's pessimistic. No, it's not. It's being realistic about something does not make you negative or make you pessimistic. There's negative people in our fan base. There's definitely, I've even watched, there's YouTubers that are negative, and that you can tell that they're just being toxic and they're just being countered just for the fun of it. And you can get that vibe from them. But then there's a difference between being negative and being realistic, and it's not the same. So at the end of the day, we're happy. We're top of the league, of course. It may not seem that way, but I'm just saying that being happy to be top of the league has to be tempered with the fact that you want to win. So you have to be reflecting on the mistakes, and you have to be reflecting on how to be better as a team, and on what you can do to move forward, and what you can do to improve every day. That's literally how it is. That's what it means to compete. That's what it means to be an elite team. Is to not be satisfied with your performance every day. And that performance wasn't that great anyway. But even if it was great, and people talk about whether you can play high tempo against a team that parks the bus, well, Liverpool do it most of the time. They grind the team down and they get the result. So why can't we do it? We should be able to do that. So if we can't, then that something needs to change. Or, you know, like I'm gonna be out because it's almost 15 minutes, and you know, don't forget again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, not to the video, but like the video and share the video, of course. Of course, I'm going to be trying to get some clips on TikTok, so check me out there. I am MCE 10.0. That's Mike Charlie Echo MCE 10, the number 10.0, because MCE 10 wasn't available, which is what I like to use, but it wasn't available, so I had to use MCE 10.0. So yeah, I'm MCE 10.0. Follow me on TikTok. I'm gonna say TikTok because I was trying to say Twitter and TikTok at the same time. Follow me on TikTok. Twitter, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I guess they disabled my account because I haven't been on there for years now. So I'm trying to figure it out. I might just make a new one, and it probably would still be MCE 10.0. And then of course, you got Instagram. I think I'm also still MCE 10.0 as well on there. So yeah, follow me on Instagram. And yeah, like I said, subscribe, like, and share this video so other people can see some beautiful content, and they can feel the energy and feel the vibe of the fact that United, we're back in business, and we're ready to compete for titles this season. Of course, not the favorites for any one of them, but at least we're going to be competing, and that's what we need to do as a team, as a club, as massive as this is, compete. So thank you all for watching. Well over 15 minutes, but it is what it is. Continue to support your boy, continue to be there, and I'm gonna be out. I got work in like 2 hours, so I'm gonna be out. Get ready, probably take a nap, hopefully not oversleep, and peace.